Go.
As you know, your mother was the head of CELSA. That's a communication program at Sorbonne. And I'm going to try to get Harvard to get behind a new communications program, probably a branch of Harvard University in Europe. And this would be the event, the celebration of the sort of like junior miss of Deauville or of Normandy. The winner of the contest, the beauty contest, would then be the date of your date at a ball called Strawberry Night, which we celebrate, could be celebrated here under a tent. And then she would model a spring collection, and would find the best couturier, whether it's Dior or Sonia or Riquel or whatever, but I mean, it would be the whole spring outfit. And, or we could use Lawrenceville girls, because we've got our new Lawrenceville. And you can be damn sure that at their prom, they will have the most beautiful girls in America. Because they're all the daughters of the corporate executives. The biggest honor is being a student at Lawrenceville, because from there they'll go any place they want. And we may run this for Lawrenceville, the Lawrenceville Girls' School. We could do it for the Milton Girls' School.
Wait, the winner would be my date?
Would be the prom date.
Oh, because I don't want to go out with a high school girl.
Obviously not. But you could be their prom date. Or let's do this, skew it a little differently. This would be between the ages 18 and 30. No, you were talking about a college girl, really. Could be 21 to 30. Could be, let's say, a girl who's 29, just 30 or 31 at the oldest. And the celebration of this model, this fashion queen, who is going to be modeling the spring collection of some big major clothing company, like I don't know, does Gap have any clothes for women that are chic? We gotta sort of run this by a few people, or go to a big chic store in Deauville, like Sonia Riquel, which has one of its main shops right on Boulevard Saint-Germain, across from the de Margot. And what we're basically raising money for, this is a fundraiser for the new communication school of the Harvard or Yale French counterpart. We're starting a magazine, a fashion and arts review, Montparnasse Review. Style, fashion, books, music, cinema. And we're starting a communications graduate course, a master's in communication. So we're starting a magazine, a podcast, and this whole event will be done on video, whether it's for YouTube or something else. What is really hot that has money? Obviously, Google has a lot of money.
YouTube is Google.
What about Facebook? Get Mark Zuckerberg and Sheryl Sandberg behind this. He was a Harvard student and could become, with his billions of dollars, a major Harvard benefactor. Yet Davy, dressed up in a tuxedo, with his red hair, and maybe he'll have lost a few pounds, as professor of neuroscience at Harvard Medical School. And they need money. We're basically starting a new salsa program that Pat was running for the Sorbonne. We really need her in here. I mean, she just spends all her time watching TV. That's all she does, watching movies. She never seems to want to work or make money. She's always complaining about money. And here's a chance to make money.
I'm gonna turn the camera off if you're gonna talk shit about them.
All right, but how are we going to talk to her about this? When will there be time when she can talk?
In the sweetest, nicest way possible, where you don't yell at her for interrupting you, because you don't converse anymore. You just want to lecture on and on without any interruption. Somebody has any input, you just get really angry. You think they're mocking you. You think they're not listening to you. You gotta become more reasonable.
I'm willing to be reasonable, but I need somebody to talk to. I mean, a new school of communication with Harvard name on it. I mean, I took her to the president of Harvard, to Drew Faust, whom Davy knows. You know, she's not only president of the College of Arts and Sciences, she's also head of all the graduate schools, medical, law, government, Kennedy Center, everything. She's the top. She's really the CEO of Harvard. Harvard needs money. They've lost. Larry Summers lost some $19 billion out of 35 million, which is a lot more than a lot of countries in Europe or in the rest of the world have. The Harvard endowment was $35 billion. Now they're down to something like 19. They lost a third of it. And Larry Summers was Sheryl Sandberg's mentor at Harvard before she became an executive at Facebook.
Yeah, that's interesting. Why don't you talk about that? You know a lot about that, those connections.
And what Sheryl Sandberg did for Facebook is that she found them a source of revenue that would go into effect the first year she took her position. I think she's chief financial officer. And with that, took stock options of $1 billion. So this is a chance for Harvard to start a new school of communications in Europe and a European branch. If Harvard doesn't want to do it, Stanford or Princeton or Yale could do it. You get all the art schools like RISD, the Beaux-Arts of Paris, involved in communications, in the use of television, film, for fashion, clothing manufacturers, and also big publications like New Yorker, New York Magazine, but Montparnasse Review is your learning vehicle. It's the publication members of the School of Communications learn with. It's a startup, and it's the vehicle for celebrating beauty, style, fashion, and critical reviews of major media events, from music to books, films, and TV series. Sony could be behind this. And the use of their equipment would be essential. I mean, their new HD camera, that hasn't been approved by the Academy yet. And actually, Richard Edlund was one of the main people that was proposing it. Instead of 35 millimeter as a medium for theatrical movie releases, it was going to be HD from Japan. And he was the one who was really in charge of all the main tests of all the parameters and any of the ramifications of their attributes of this new recording mechanism for cinema, television, etc. Interviews, journalism, photojournalism in television, and of course YouTube. So I mean, Google is a major player in this. So I think this is what needs to be in our announcement of the contest. And when we find our candidate, part of it will be her work experience, her educational experience, and the answer to the question, what do you want to do with your life, having won this contest, which is celebrated at this event, this ball at a new venue, new school of communication, spring ball. So that's pretty much the gist of it. And something we need to discuss with your mother. She may have some ideas. We need to get some big companies on board, like Dior or big perfume company, Chanel. Got to get in touch with some big honchos in these companies. I mean, Google might want to be involved as a sponsor. But we really need a fashion leader in fashion. That's why I was talking to Mary Clothesman. She's one of the first people I told about the Montparnasse Review, since she knows the fashion business. And Alice Connor now has a job with Dior in Milano. And the Italians have always, like Armani, has always been taught for men. But we need to be talking to her too. Pat's in touch with Piera Ornella, and I don't know where Alice is. She might be candidate for Miss Paris or something like that. If she's, well, I think she is a really beautiful young woman. I don't know how old she is. All right, so those are the parameters, basically, that we've got to work with to design this whole event. Do you think I got enough done? And so Pat can watch this, at least get the gist of it.
How about a drink?
Fine. I like Janie down here. I like her to find all the cantos that are in the book, our little bookshelf out there. I can't put my hand on them because that is our example of what we achieved in Cambridge. And what it's not necessarily a model for Montparnasse Review, but it surely shows that we can put together a very handsome and extremely successful critical review of not only literature, but all the arts. Canto Review of the Arts. Call upstairs and see where Jane is.
Janie? I'm getting really hungry. I want to have a drink. You want to do this stuff like right now. Why do you choose now?
Because I want to
impose your will.
Because I'm trying to get something started.
Right before dinner.
Well, I'm rested. I took my nap. I got washed up, clean, and fresh clothes on.